Lovely jubbly, just tricked you there. God, look at 7. That's got to be reviewed, especially on the Purple Draft Pro. And it's just quite a lot heavier. Especially when Good afternoon, people. Right, got to do this now before it gets too dark.
It's getting dark.
It's changing, isn't it? So it's like the reviews have to be early. Like Michelle does like the end of reviews. Right. Anyway,
Okay.
This one, probably thinking, what the F is he doing now? Right. In the left corner, we have Lowenbrau Oktoberfest coming in a huge 6.1% ABV. I've forgotten about what else. And on the right side, we have Zotler beer. Festwochen beer at 5.8% ABV. Right, why these two? You may well be asking. Well, it was.
I'm wondering myself.
Right, well, it was a subscriber. Well, hopefully he's a subscriber. A nice fella. I can't remember his name without going back on the video, but I can't go back on the video because I watched what I said last year. I reviewed this last year, and a fella just saw it very recently.
Okay.
Actually, it was when I was away in Gibraltar, and I'm chatting to him on YouTube, and he said, this for me has just pipped that.
Wow.
They're very similar, but it's just pipped it. And I was like thinking, is he drunk? Is he, is he for real? So I didn't go back on the review because we tend not to do that, don't we?
Don't like to do that. Like to judge things for the moment and take a look at them the way they are actually right
Things
now.
change, don't they? And if you start doing that, you're going to live your life going, oh, what did I say here? And I've got to say the same thing again. But
No.
It's a year later. I don't know what we said about that. I don't actually have a clue.
I don't actually remember drinking it.
Funny enough, until this fella pointed this out to me, I'd got it this year when I got some beers from Trembling Madness. So, some of them we've reviewed, some of them we haven't with the Oktoberfest. We got in a right mix-up with it, didn't we?
Did a little bit, yeah.
But I didn't even know we'd reviewed it, so I did know I drank it, but I didn't know we'd done a review. So there you go. So we're just going to have a look at the pair of them together. And one, is there any similarities? And two, does that beat the big boy?
There we go. This will be interesting.
And it is one of the.
I wasn't aware that this had come up.
No,
I
that's
can't
right.
particularly remember this, to be honest.
We've had this.
I know I
times.
love this.
Well, outside of
There we go.
Spartan, whatever you want to call it, for me, it's the number one this year. Well, we obviously we don't have the glass for this, so we're just using 2 Lowenbrau glasses. But here's my port. Oh, it's lively. We slow that down a little bit, rather than me doing a classic. Hey, see, that's what it's all about. It's all about knowing your beer, knowing how you're pouring it, giving it a little shake. Look at that. Not like that dodgy older beer fella. And that dodgy you and that dodgy Smokehouse.
Nicely. Could have a nice big head the way it's supposed to have.
No, you don't make have a head that big. That's because they con you in Oktoberfest, so they can charge you
Almost
God knows how
absolutely.
many euros for something that's. No, that is more of a head than that, which is crazy, but I don't know. 2 ways of looking at it there. I think they like to. They probably say, "Here, you're British," you see on Oktoberfest, and think, "That's it, they're Brits." Give them. Oh God, it's on me. God help us, eh? Put people off for life here, won't I? And it's on video. That's why. I wonder why it was on me. Okay. See, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And when I saw myself there, God help me. What can I say? So, yeah, 5.8% ABV. Purchased from Trembling Madness. I'm sure probably Marcus gets this beauty. I would have hoped so anyway. So you're better off going to him because he's cheaper. Just saying.
So, looks wise, they're looking very similar, although this particular one does look, through what's coming through the glass, a little bit more carbonated. I can see more bubbles coming up on this glass.
Whoa. Nucleated glass, non-nucleated glass.
That could probably be why then.
Up here for thinking, you know.
Right, so let's have a smell.
Yeah. You've got to do the smell test. I'd never done one in my life until I started watching.
Yeah, just
YouTube.
malty. That's what you would
You get a
expect.
citrus hint, and and a bit of just your normal bready
I
malts.
suppose a little bit yeasty.
They pretty much
Yeah.
for much as they do. It's all Oktoberfest do. Sometimes you get a little citrus hint, a zestiness, but you basically get your bready malts, as we all know. We're not telling you nothing you don't know here.
Yeah, most people that's tried an Oktoberfest beer, especially this particular style.
Well, it's the best time of year, isn't it? As far as beer is, apart from Franciscana Royal when that comes.
Yeah, it's a great time of year for beer.
It's time to get more piss though, isn't you? She loves it.
Of course.
So,
Right.
we'll let you go first. Go and take the lead.
I'm going to go for this one first because I want to have that fresh on my palate and see how that compares to it.
No, I'll just go along with you. I'll let her take centre stage so she's having a go at me afterwards, you know. Clever. Clever people, clever. Remember, this was just someone's opinion. Again, a subjective
Now, for
opinion,
me-
like our own.
This tastes quite bready, quite yeasty, which I was picking up on the aroma.
Oh, it's decent though. It's decent, and it does have that bitterness at the end with a slight fruit.
It doesn't compare.
What are you trying to say about my mate here?
No, it's all subjective. For me, it doesn't compare. The Lowenbrau is smoother to begin with. It's not so highly carbonated. You say it's because of nucleated glass. I think that purely Oktoberfest beers are meant to be smoother, not so carbonated, so you can drink more and not feel totally bloated. But what I'm picking up on, the difference is this is yeasty and bready for me, whereas this has got a really nice combination of malts. There's a bit of citrus in there, and then you've got a nice,
I've got citrus.
almost little bit
In
of a
that one.
spicy finish.
I'm getting similarities, definitely.
They're
Although,
not totally dissimilar.
Going on that sip there after I just said that, I'd say that's got more fruit
Yeah,
flowing through it rather than that you can go on the
yeasty
bready
breadiness.
malts and that. That's not a bad thing, don't get me wrong.
That isn't a bad beer. It isn't bad.
But it's just pointed out to me, and I had both of them there, and I thought, you know what, I'll give that a go. They're both absolutely crackers though.
No, this just feels cleaner, fresher for me.
I thought it was quite similar. What do you do? Is there a lot in it? I'd say no.
Not a huge amount.
We can't like the same thing anyway, but it was just interesting to try. It's just one of them, what could you call this? A fun review, a meaningless review, but
It's a little bit of, how do they stand up against one another? That is interesting to see, especially when someone has really picked this out and liked it.
yeah, there was a video from a year ago, and I say, it was just brought to my attention because I was sat there, I was actually laying there having a rest in Gibraltar. I think it was in the morning or something, or in the afternoon, and I thought, do you know what, I didn't even remember, as I said earlier, I
Bready
didn't remember
yeasty with a slight bitterness
reviewing
in
it.
the end.
But they're not bad beers, either of them. You know, that's a cracker that we all know, and I'm pretty much sure we've enjoyed that.
Smooth, a hint of sweetness, a little bit of citrus, and a little bit of bitterness to balance it off in the end, but it's very subtle with the bitterness.
Oh, they do deliver. The problem is with these 6.1, 5.8, I could just sit here going,
Yeah.
and boom,
You
they
are
hit you.
not picking up the alcohol in these at all.
You have to, this is something Michelle doesn't understand very well. You have to kind of, what's the word can I say? Savour the ambience in a way that you start off with them cold. I always take them out the fridge at 3. I run them in the machine now at 3 rather than, or even 2 sometimes, don't we? Rather than 5, 6. Because then you haven't got to it back, have you? And the flavours do get better. Don't get me wrong. These get better and better as they get warmer. Until you get to what, 8-9 degrees.
Yeah.
They're absolute classics.
They are absolutely beautiful beers.
You start off with it warm though, and you don't drink it quick. You have a problem, as we've discovered before.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Although, in all due honesty, years ago I could drink a Holsten Pilsners. When we met my friend from school, we were talking about very recently that I was sat in the back of a car drinking warm Holsten Pils. This was 32 years ago, by the way. But, you know, it was something I'd done. But, like, I think with the Oktoberfest, you could pull them out and just drink them as they are. I do. I think you could. You certainly could. I struggle. I love my beer cold.
I do prefer them to be this particular, like, Helly's on steroid style of Oktoberfest. It's not Marzen. It's, you know, this particular style. I like this at about 5 degrees. I think it's just right.
I like it at any degree. I just like having them in stock. We've still got some cakes on the perfect draft of that, haven't we?
Yeah,
we have the Spaten as well. But do you know what? I think he's got a valid point. Michelle's obviously gone on the Lowenbrau there, which is fair enough. I understand that. But for me, I think there's a lot of similarities. I don't think it's pipped it.
Putting them head to head, I'm sorry, the Lowenbrau does win. It's just got that extra depth of flavour. There was just more going on there for me. I like the way that it's a little bit more creamy. It's not so bouncy with the carbonation. Is this about beer? No, it isn't. Not by any means. It's a good beer.
I'd be interested to hear, but I can't sit there anymore and listen to us two gabbling on. I think I'd be interested to hear what we actually said last year. Did we rate it or did we not? Because that is a definite rating. If I was rating that now, it would be at least an 8 out of 10.
No, see, I'd give that a 7.
I'd say, I don't know what I said last year. I might have panned it. I might have done anything.
But 7 is still a good score. It means it's a very drinkable beer. It's well worth going and trying.
Yeah,
if you come across it, you will enjoy drinking it.
It's one of them that, like I say, it was mentioned to me while I was in Gibraltar last week, and I thought, you know, I've got that in the fridge, and I've got one of them. So I popped that in the fridge. Forgot to tell you, literally, when we came back. I just sat there, and then today I thought, hold on a minute, bango, mate's review. And it's like, because he came along, and say, on YouTube, he's on the last thing, the last one of these. On it. I just didn't want to
that citrus hit on this. I'm really enjoying that.
Listen to it, but yeah, these, like I say, these are self-explanatory, aren't they? You know, is there a bad Oktoberfest? There's a couple this year from the UK.
Brilliant.
I hate to say that, but yeah, there is a couple. But then there's been a couple from the UK that have delivered, which is good as well. We're not going to catch up, your likes of Lowenbrau and your likes of this. That's not going to happen anytime soon, is it? You can love a UK beer and give it a 10 out of 10. You can do what you like on YouTube, but you're not going to beat the German things. But we're getting better.
Indeed.
We've had a lot of better ones. I think we've got Track Brewing or someone left to do from the UK ones, and that's pretty much us done on Oktoberfest this year, isn't it? Well, Septemberfest, it should be really cool because most of them come in September.
Yeah, it is. From a reviewing point of view, you need to go in there early so people know what they're buying. But I think it's also still relevant to do it actually in October because you never know who people are going to pick up on and want to try for the next year.
We've got plenty left.
Exactly.
The kegs. Right, that's it. This has been another long one. This wasn't meant to be this way.
Yeah,
but she goes on and on and on. I've told her she'd like that off the camera. So, right. Thanks for watching.
Thank
Put a
you.
like. Bonjour.